Today's topic is something that we all strive for in our lives, yet it remains one of the most difficult things to define. Some people equate it with pleasure, while others believe it is a state of mind. Happiness. To truly understand the philosophy of happiness, we need to dwell deeper into various philosophical schools of thoughts and examine how they define happiness. One of the earliest philosophers to address the concept of happiness was Aristotle. He believed that happiness was the ultimate goal of human existence and that it could be achieved through the pursuit of virtue. For Aristotle, happiness was not simply a fleeting feeling of pleasure, but a lifelong pursuit of living a virtuous life. Another philosopher who explored the idea of happiness was Epicurus. He believed that the pursuit of pleasure was the key to happiness. However, unlike some modern interpretations, Epicurus did not advocate for hedonism or an endless pursuit of physical pleasure. Instead, he argued that true happiness could only be achieved through a balance of physical and intellectual pleasure, along with absence of pain and fear. Moving on to the Stoic philosophers, they believed that happiness was not something that could be pursued directly. Instead, happiness was seen as a byproduct of living a life in accordance with nature and reason. For the Stoic, happiness was not about experiencing pleasure or avoiding pain, but rather about cultivating inner peace and acceptance of the world as it is. In the more recent times, the philosopher Immanuel Kant proposed that happiness was not the ultimate goal of human existence. Instead, he argued that happiness was a byproduct of living a moral and ethical life. According to Kant, happiness could only be achieved when one acted in accordance with the moral law, even if this meant sacrificing one's own personal desire or pleasure. In contrast, the philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche believed that happiness was not something that we should actively pursue. However, his conception of happiness was quite different from Aristotle's. Nietzsche believed that true happiness could only be achieved by overcoming suffering and adversity. He argued that pursuit of pleasure or the avoidance of pain was shallow and ultimately unsatisfying way to live one's life. Finally, we have the modern philosopher Martin Seligman, who has developed a theory of happiness known as positive psychology. According to Seligman, happiness is not simply the absence of negative emotions, but rather a state of well-being that encompasses positive emotions, a sense of pursuit and meaning, positive relationships, and personal growth. For Seligman, true happiness is achieved when we are able to cultivate these various aspects of our life. In conclusion, the philosophy of happiness is a complex and multi-phase topic that has been explored by numerous philosophers throughout history. While there is no single definition of happiness that everyone can agree on, these different philosophical schools of thought provide us with a rich and diverse understanding of what it means to truly be happy. Whether it is through the pursuit of virtue, the cultivation of inner peace, the pursuit of pleasure, or the development of positive relationships and personal growth, there are many paths that can lead us to a fulfilling and a happy life. Thanks for watching the video, and we hope you liked the information. If you did, hit the like button. A subscribe is always appreciated, and make sure to watch the next video. You don't want to miss that.